Argo, the new Hollywood film about the 1979 hostage crisis in Iran, has gone down a storm. Guess where? In Iran. Farnaz Fasihi is with us is joining us from Beirut. Farnaz, why is it so popular in Iran?
I think because Iranians are really eager to see how Hollywood has portrayed one of the most historic events in modern Iranian history that really changed the course of Iran's relationship with the world.
Yeah, I mean, because that was a major event. It brought down President Jimmy Carter's government when essentially, I mean, it was about 444 days the students held these hostages in the U.S. Embassy in Tehran.
Right. I mean, it was a major event for American politics, but it really changed the course of history for Iran's revolution. You know, soon after the hostage crisis, the relationship with America broke down, and to this day, 34 years later, there's still no official relationship with the U.S. They've suffered from sanctions as a result of that. They have had sort of this standoffish relationship with the West that stems from the hostage crisis. And there was the Iran-Iraq war, which the Americans, by and large, supported the Iraqi side during the war. A lot of it goes back to that initial turn in history where they took the Americans hostage and let it drag on for as long as it did.
I mean, what is fascinating here, Farnaz, if anything one would have expected, as you said, this is an American version of something that's a great national pride in Iran. But instead of them criticizing it, well, I'm sure the government's criticized it, but the people seem to actually be seeing a lot more in this film and actually using it as an excuse for criticizing their own government.
Right. I mean, this is the surprising thing, that Iranians are sort of watching this movie and they're seeing a reflection of their own government now in this movie because, to the Americans and maybe to the general public, this is an event that happened 34 years ago. But if you're living in Iran, almost everybody has either been a victim or has witnessed interactions with these radical groups that are still inside Iran, whether they're harassing women for the way they wear their scarf, or whether they're breaking down at parties at home, or whether they're beating up people at democracy rallies. So there's this sort of tendency toward radicalism and violence is something that's still very present in Iranian sort of politics and
essentially
society.
It's a reminder that things haven't really moved on. But what is interesting as well is I gather there haven't been any public showings of this film. But so this is all just DVDs that have been copied, and passed around.
Right. This is all bootleg DVDs that have Persian subtitles. Iran has in Iranian cinemas they haven't officially put on Argo, but they did screen it at a university. That's the only public screening we know of the movie. But it's just going hand by hand and house to house.
Farnaz, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And of course, what's fascinating as well now is that Iran apparently is planning to make their own version of events too.
Right, exactly. They're thinking of making a counter Argo that captures their own narrative.
Counter Argo, I like that. Thanks, Farnaz.